Okay, so there have been some people recently going on some crazy adventures trying to quote-unquote catch 'em all, to some of which ranging from some weird discoveries, unexpected events, to just downright stupidity. Don't believe me? Well, here are some actual examples. There have been a lot of cases recently where people are discovering dead bodies while conveniently playing Pokemon Go, and it's starting to get a little creepy. The earliest case was reported on July 8th, where a 19-year-old girl from Rivington, Wyoming, was looking for a Pokéstop when she stumbled across a dead corpse. Now, that's fine. You may be thinking, man, that sure doesn't happen every day. Well, believe it or not, there's another story with the same premise. On July 13th, a man in Nashua, New Hampshire, found another body just lying around. And surprise, surprise, there was a third case recently on July 15th, where 3 women discovered yet another dead body in San Diego Park. For fuck's sake, was Nintendo too lazy to program ghost-type Pokemon so they went around the US killing people so that there can be a few ghastlies around? I mean, wow. Pedestrians don't usually find dead bodies in general all too often, let alone there being 3 cases in less than a week where all of them were doing the exact same thing when they found the bodies. So the next 2 stories I'm about to show you are too stupid that it makes me wonder if it's even legal for people of their IQ to reproduce. The first one takes place in San Diego, once again, where 2 men fall off a cliff while playing Pokemon Go. Yes, 2. Okay, let me get this straight. Pokemon Go is GPS based, meaning that it tracks where you're located. So even if you're not looking where you're going, even though you're supposed to, did you 2 not realize that your phone was heading you off a fucking cliff? When your parents asked you, if someone told you to jump off a cliff, would you do it? I'm pretty sure your answer wasn't supposed to be yes. And another story takes place in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where a 15-year-old girl got hit by a car in the middle of a highway during rush hour. How was she in the middle of a highway in the first place? Well, she was walking home after catching a Pokemon near a museum in Tarentum. Now, she claimed she wasn't playing the game when she got hit, but that doesn't stop her mother from blaming the game anyways.
Kids don't just cross a highway. You know, they're not going to walk across a highway for no reason. This thing had her walking across a highway to find a Pokemon. When she called and said that she was hit by a car, I blamed the game, because she would not have been out of my house. My daughter is a hermit.
Okay, we're just gonna move on. Of all the weird things I predicted happening when Pokemon Go came out, I never thought this would ever exist. But it does. So apparently people are going around taking nudes with their Pokemon. And it's gotten so big that there's even an entire subreddit dedicated to this. No, I'm not gonna link it down in the description. One of the most infamous yet appropriate examples I'll show you, because I don't want my channel taken down for porn, are the ones that involve the Pokemon Diglett, which is a ground-type Pokemon that's specified as a mole. And it looks like a dick. You can take a lucky guess what kind of pictures people took. Well, on the bright side, I haven't seen any cloister pigs roaming around to end my life. If you didn't know already, a Pokéstop is basically a place where you can catch a lot of Pokemon, get free in-game items, and it's part of what makes Pokemon Go so innovative. Pokéstops are located in any landmark there be, such as parks, malls, attractions, police stations, personal homes, private property, and Holocaust museums. And yes, people are going to all of these places I just mentioned. All of them. So the US Holocaust Memorial Museum is marked as a Pokéstop, a place that commemorates the lives of one of the most tragic genocides in human history. That seems like a good place to play Pokemon. I mean, just because you can, doesn't mean you should. That's like watching porn in the middle of a funeral. And what makes it worse, apparently the people who were playing the game in that museum found a poisonous type Pokemon known as Coughing, and his main iconic attack involved him spewing poisonous gas. You make the reference. That's That's an extremely dire coincidence if I ever seen it. I'm just gonna end the video here, folks. I've only said a tiny fraction of things that have happened. I didn't even mention the stampede in New York City, where hundreds, if not thousands, crowding about, tumbling people over just to catch a fucking Vaporeon. Or even criminals who try to take advantage of Pokemon Go to catch victims. The game's not even a month old, so I can only imagine what kind of shit people are gonna run into the future. Peace.
Have a lot of jobs from building infrastructure to coding, creating new apps. I don't know who created Pokemon Go, but I'm trying to figure out how we get them to have Pokemon go to the polls.